Listen closely. A moment of profound change is unfolding right now. Right at this very second, God's message is reaching you, softly yet with undeniable power. It slips past the noise of the world, arriving in the quiet corners of your mind, in the stillness you may not even notice. Often, spiritual awakening comes without warning. It does not knock. It whispers, it stirs your intuition, nudges your insight, and awakens a deep awareness that something within you is stirring. Today, something extraordinary is happening. A gift that has been quietly waiting inside you, hidden beneath years of doubt, fear, and routine, is being activated. Not tomorrow, not next week, but this moment. Your readiness, your calm, your willingness to perceive the subtle signs will determine how fully it emerges. There is a rhythm to this activation, a silent pulse that aligns your energy with divine intention. Even ancient Shaolin masters understood that such power does not manifest through force, but through presence, stillness, and disciplined awareness. By staying with this message until the end, you will discover ways to recognize these subtle signals, cultivate inner clarity, and harness a strength that has been lying dormant. You will learn how courage, patience, and mindful action can awaken your gift and channel it into something life-changing, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. The hidden patterns, the energy that courses quietly beneath daily life, the moments most overlooked, they are all part of this divine orchestration. You are standing at a threshold, and the knowledge in this video will guide your first steps. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where wisdom meets awakening. Subscribe now and step into the path that was waiting for you all along. In the silence between your thoughts lies a door few ever notice. The mind rushes endlessly, chasing what it believes is urgent, while the true treasures of life move softly, almost invisibly, through the quiet spaces. The Shaolin masters knew this well. They spent years learning to still the body and calm the mind, not for ease, but to perceive what others could not. In stillness, the subtle energies of the universe reveal themselves, and the gifts within you begin to stir. Many search for power or insight in noise, in action, in striving. Yet the activation of a true gift requires receptivity. A seed buried under restless thought cannot sprout. Only when the mind is quiet does awareness awaken, allowing you to sense the currents of possibility flowing around and through you. This is why the act of pausing is not a break from life. It is the foundation of transformation. Take a moment now. Breathe slowly. Feel the rhythm of your chest, the rise and fall of your body, the gentle flow of energy beneath the surface. With each breath, you are creating space for what is waiting to emerge. Every inhalation draws presence into your being. Every exhalation releases tension, doubt, and distraction. This is not merely meditation. It is the art of listening to yourself, to the world, and to the divine whisper that guides your awakening. In these moments of quiet, even the smallest flicker of insight can ignite. A thought, an awareness, a subtle understanding may arise that changes everything. Stillness is not emptiness, it is the gateway. It is where your gift begins to pulse, where your inner vision sharpens, and where the invisible forces align to prepare you for what is coming. There are moments that pass almost unnoticed. An unusual word overheard, a fleeting image in a dream, a sudden thought that feels heavier than ordinary. The ancients called these signs whispers of the unseen world, nudges from a presence beyond form. In the Shaolin tradition, disciples were taught to watch closely, not just with the eyes, but with the mind and the spirit. Every subtle pattern, every quiet coincidence, was a thread in the fabric of a greater design, waiting for those who had trained themselves to perceive it. Awareness is like a finely tuned instrument. At first it may feel as if nothing speaks, yet the practice of observation sharpens sensitivity. Life begins to reveal hidden rhythms. The small, repeated events that once seemed trivial now carry meaning. A chance encounter may spark understanding. A word may echo in a way that stirs the heart. These are not random occurrences. They are signals, markers along the path of awakening. Cultivating this awareness requires discipline. The mind must be steady, not pulled in every direction by desire or distraction. By observing without judgment, by noticing patterns without forcing interpretation, a quiet mastery develops. It is a mastery not over the world but over attention itself. This inner discipline allows the subtle currents of life to be perceived and understood. Through this practice, the emergence of gifts becomes visible. The signs may be faint, but they are present. The awakened mind recognizes them, responds to them, and moves with them rather than against them. In time, what was once hidden becomes familiar. Life speaks in whispers, and those who listen carefully begin to understand the language of the divine. This is the path of subtle mastery, an ancient wisdom that teaches that the extraordinary often reveals itself in the most ordinary of moments. Discipline is the silent architect of power, shaping what the eyes cannot see and the mind cannot force. In the Shaolin halls, masters spoke of discipline not as limitation but as freedom, the freedom to access abilities hidden beneath layers of distraction and doubt. Spiritual gifts, like seeds, do not flourish through chance alone. They awaken through patient, consistent effort, through the quiet devotion to practice that turns ordinary days into steps toward mastery. Each morning, a disciple rises before the world stirs, moving through exercises that strengthen the body, sharpen the mind, and attune the spirit. Each evening, the same hands that perform tasks throughout the day return to calm, mindful reflection. These small, deliberate rituals may seem mundane, yet they cultivate the soil in which a gift can take root. Consistency is not perfection, it is attention returned again and again, a quiet promise to the self that growth will not be neglected. Focus is the companion of discipline. The mind trained to remain present, to observe without distraction, begins to notice the subtle currents of energy in life. Thoughts settle like sediment in clear water, revealing patterns that were invisible in chaos. Meditation, mindful breathing, and simple acts of awareness act as amplifiers for the divine, drawing energy into the body and spirit, preparing them to receive what is already seeking expression. Self-mastery is born in this daily devotion. It is not the control of others or the world, but the ability to direct attention, intention, and action with clarity. When discipline becomes a natural rhythm, gifts emerge almost effortlessly, flowing through the mind and body like water finding its course. The ancients understood this. Power is not sudden. It is the quiet accumulation of practice, the steadfast cultivation of presence, and the unwavering commitment to the path of awakening. Courage does not roar. It whispers in the stillness of the heart, urging one to move forward even when the path is unclear. The moment a gift begins to awaken, fear often follows close behind. The mind senses change and resists it, stirring doubt, hesitation, and uncertainty. Ancient masters understood this well. In the Shaolin tradition, disciples were taught that true strength is not measured by the absence of fear, but by the willingness to act despite it. Each obstacle encountered on the path of awakening is a teacher in disguise. The uncertainty that arises when stepping into the unknown is not a signal to retreat, but an invitation to deepen inner mastery. When the mind remains calm, steady, and aware, fear loses its grip. Courage is the quiet force that allows one to face life's trials without being swept away by them. It is discipline in motion, rooted in presence, guided by intention, and tempered by patience. Embracing inner courage means trusting the subtle currents of life and the wisdom that flows through the body and mind. It is the calm determination to move forward even when the outcome is hidden. The Shaolin masters practiced this through rigorous training, confronting physical and mental challenges not to conquer others, but to conquer the resistance within themselves. Each step taken with steady resolve strengthens the connection to one's own potential, allowing gifts to surface with clarity and confidence. Courage, once cultivated, becomes a companion, a steady light illuminating the path through uncertainty. It transforms fear from a barrier into a guide, showing where growth is needed, where attention must be focused, and where the gift within waits patiently. In this way, activation is not merely the emergence of power, it is the forging of character, the alignment of spirit and action, and the deepening of mastery that prepares the self to receive, wield, and honor what has been awakened. True power arises when action flows from purpose. A gift, no matter how extraordinary, remains incomplete if it moves without direction. The ancients understood this deeply. In the Shaolin tradition, every movement, every breath, every choice was guided by awareness of a greater path. Strength without alignment is like water spilled on stone, present but unable to nourish. When purpose guides action, even the smallest gesture carries profound force. Self-reflection is the compass that points toward this alignment. By pausing to observe one's intentions, by asking why each choice is made, clarity emerges. The mind begins to see where effort is scattered and where energy can be focused. Mindful decision-making is not mere planning. It is listening to the subtle currents of life, sensing the intersections where your abilities and the world's needs converge. Each action then becomes a vessel, a channel through which a gift may flow with precision and grace. Ancient masters trained in the art of deliberate movement understood that alignment is not found in doing more, but in doing consciously. Every posture, every breath, every disciplined exercise was a practice in harmonizing intent and effort. When purpose and action are aligned, obstacles lose their weight. Challenges become opportunities to test clarity and reinforce mastery. The energy within you responds to this harmony, growing stronger, more directed, more capable of manifesting what was once dormant. Living in alignment transforms ordinary life into a sacred practice. Decisions are no longer random, time is no longer wasted, and actions become expressions of a higher rhythm. The gift within moves not in isolation, but as part of a greater flow. Each choice made with awareness amplifies its presence, turning potential into tangible impact. This is the path of mastery, where purpose shapes action, where discipline directs energy, and where the gift reveals itself fully through mindful, intentional living. There's a subtle power in letting go, a strength that comes not from control, but from trust. When a gift begins to stir within, the mind often rushes forward, grasping, pushing, demanding. Yet the path of awakening is not forged through force. The Shaolin masters taught that surrender is not passivity, it is conscious alignment with the currents of life, a disciplined trust in the natural unfolding of events. To act without attachment is to move with precision, clarity, and purpose, while leaving the outcome in the hands of a higher wisdom. Every challenge, every moment of uncertainty is a teacher. Resistance clouds perception, while trust opens the senses to the lessons hidden in each experience. The masters observed that those who cling too tightly to expectations often miss the subtle guidance that shapes true growth. By surrendering, one does not abandon effort. One simply allows effort to be directed by understanding rather than fear or impatience. This is the balance between doing and receiving, between striving and flowing. In practice, surrender takes shape in stillness and reflection. Moments of quiet allow insight to emerge, revealing how each obstacle is a necessary step in the activation of a gift. The mind learns to discern between what must be acted upon and what must be released. Discipline is required to maintain this awareness, to act when appropriate, and to step back when the moment calls for patience. Trusting the process transforms fear into opportunity. The gift within moves not on a fixed schedule, but according to divine timing, orchestrated in ways the mind cannot yet see. Each breath, each mindful choice, each act of letting go strengthens the connection to this flow. Surrender becomes a practice of mastery, a conscious, courageous, and patient engagement with life, where the awakening of one's true potential unfolds naturally, with grace, precision, and quiet power. Within the body lies a river of subtle energy, moving quietly beneath every thought, every heartbeat. The Shaolin masters called this qi, the life force that sustains, guides, and awakens potential. To sense it, one must first become still, then turn attention inward, observing the natural rhythm of breath. Breath is the bridge between body and spirit, the channel through which energy flows freely when cultivated with care and intention. Simple practices can awaken this power. Sitting quietly, the focus falls on the inhalation and exhalation, long, gentle, and deliberate. With each breath, energy circulates through the body, clearing tension, sharpening perception, and opening the mind to subtle currents of possibility. The more awareness rests on the breath, the more receptive the body becomes to the stirrings of the gift within. Even a few minutes each day can plant seeds that grow steadily, unseen at first, yet profoundly transforming over time. Energy cultivation is not about force or effort. It is an exercise in presence, discipline, and observation. The mind must remain calm, not seeking results, but guiding attention patiently. As chi moves with greater clarity, the senses heighten. Small intuitions, fleeting insights, and quiet nudges from life become more noticeable. The body itself feels lighter, more aligned, as though it remembers the rhythm it was always meant to follow. This practice reflects an ancient understanding: mastery begins within. Strength is cultivated quietly, patiently, with disciplined attention to the simplest of acts: breathing, centering, observing. As energy flows freely, the gift that has been dormant begins to awaken. Breath becomes a tool, a compass, and a channel, allowing potential to rise naturally, aligned with purpose and harmonized with the rhythm of life. Through mindful cultivation of energy, the invisible becomes tangible, and the extraordinary quietly emerges from the ordinary. A gift, no matter how profound, remains like a seed buried in the soil if it is never brought into the light. Ancient masters understood that potential alone is not enough. It must be expressed, tested, and refined through action. The Shaolin tradition emphasizes that mastery is not achieved in contemplation alone, but in deliberate movement, in choices made with awareness, and in the courage to engage fully with life. Integration begins with small, conscious steps. Each action, however modest, becomes a practice in aligning ability with intention, speaking a truth, offering help, making a disciplined choice. These are not trivial acts. They are expressions of the inner gift, threads weaving it into the fabric of daily life. By acting with presence, each gesture, each decision strengthens the connection between potential and reality, between inner power and outer expression. Discipline continues to play its role here. Action without awareness risks scattering energy. Action with mindfulness channels it. The Shaolin masters trained not just the body, but the mind, so that each movement carried meaning, focus, and precision. Similarly, each step taken to express your gift reinforces mastery, not through force, but through alignment with purpose and attention to detail. This integration is also a dialogue with the divine. Every conscious act becomes a vessel through which guidance flows, a way of practicing receptivity while engaging the world. In time, patterns emerge, intuition strengthens, and the gift moves more freely, no longer confined to thought or potential. Life itself becomes the proving ground, the laboratory where inner mastery is refined and the sacred alignment between action and awakening is realized. Through integration, the dormant becomes active, the hidden becomes visible, and the gift transforms into a living presence, woven seamlessly into the rhythm of everyday existence. True awakening is not a single spark, but a slow burning flame. The activation of a gift marks the beginning, not the completion of a journey. In the quiet halls of Shaolin, masters often reminded disciples that mastery unfolds gradually like water carving stone, persistent, patient, and unwavering. Each day offers a new opportunity to practice, refine, and align with the deeper currents of life. Patience is not passive waiting. It is disciplined presence. It is the ability to observe growth unfolding at its own pace without forcing results or seeking recognition. The mind that rushes often misses subtle lessons, while the patient mind absorbs wisdom from every experience. Reflection becomes a daily ritual, examining thoughts, actions, and intentions with clarity and honesty. Through this, insight deepens, choices become more aligned, and the gift that has been activated moves with increasing precision and ease. Continuous growth relies on persistence. Small, consistent practices, whether meditation, mindful movement, or deliberate action, accumulate over time, shaping the mind, body, and spirit. The Shaolin perspective teaches that even the slightest effort, repeated faithfully, compounds into profound mastery. There is no shortcut, no sudden leap, only steady cultivation, awareness, and alignment with principles that transcend the self. Each challenge encountered along the path is part of this unfolding. Frustration, delay, or seeming stagnation are not obstacles to abandon, but opportunities to strengthen discipline and deepen understanding. By embracing patience, one learns to move with life rather than against it, allowing growth to unfold naturally. In this way, the journey becomes its own teacher. Mastery is not a distant destination. It is the quiet accumulation of practice, awareness, and alignment over time. The gift, nurtured patiently, grows stronger, more refined, and increasingly capable of expressing its full potential, revealing the profound rhythm of awakening that guides every step forward. A gift, once awakened, does not remain contained. Like a stone dropped into still water, its energy spreads outward, creating ripples that touch lives beyond what can be seen. The Shaolin masters spoke often of the responsibility that comes with power, the understanding that personal mastery is inseparable from service to others. When a gift is cultivated with discipline, awareness, and purpose, it naturally inspires, uplifts, and guides, often in ways that are subtle yet profound. The spiritual principle of contribution teaches that abilities are never solely for oneself. Every act, every choice, every expression of the gift carries potential to affect the world. Helping, teaching, or simply radiating presence becomes a way to honor the source of the gift. This is not about recognition or reward, but about alignment with a higher rhythm, a flow in which individual potential becomes part of a greater whole. The ripples extend far beyond immediate perception, touching hearts and minds in ways that cannot always be measured, yet are unmistakably felt. Inner mastery enhances this effect. The disciplined mind and trained spirit ensure that the gift flows with clarity rather than force. Actions rooted in patience, awareness, and intention amplify the natural impact of the ability, allowing it to harmonize with the needs of others rather than imposing upon them. Ancient teachings remind us that true power is quiet, precise, and aligned. It transforms without disrupting, influences without demanding. Gifts, when recognized as instruments of service, take on a sacred purpose. Each conscious choice to apply skill, insight, or energy becomes an offering, a bridge between personal awakening and collective well-being. The activation of a gift is not merely an internal event. It is a moment that initiates connection, contribution, and positive transformation, revealing that the highest expression of mastery is not in possession but in the thoughtful sharing of what has been awakened. The moment is here. Stillness, awareness, discipline, courage, alignment, trust, energy, action, and patience, they are the keys that unlock what has been quietly waiting within you. Each principle is a step along the path, guiding the gift toward full awakening. God's activation is not distant. It is happening now, quietly, within the rhythm of your breath, the clarity of your mind, and the intention in your actions. By embracing this moment fully, with presence and openness, you allow the divine to flow through you, revealing the potential that has always been part of your being. Take what you have learned and weave it into your daily life. Pause, reflect, act with awareness, cultivate your energy, and trust the unfolding process. Every small step, every mindful choice, strengthens your connection to this sacred awakening. Your gift is alive, ready to manifest, and ready to serve a purpose greater than yourself. Remember, this is a journey, and each day offers an opportunity to deepen mastery, refine understanding, and move with intention. Treat each moment as sacred, for in the ordinary, the extraordinary quietly unfolds. If this message resonates, allow it to guide your practice and your presence in the world. Embrace it gently, consistently, and with gratitude. Thank you for stepping into this moment with us. If you feel called to continue exploring this path of wisdom and awakening, like this video and subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire. Let your gift awaken and let it flow, peace and clarity to your journey.